Hey everyone, welcome back to Ashley Land. This is your weekly reminder that Black Lives Matter and it's time for us to continue to fight for justice for Breonna Taylor. This video would have been released on June 30th, which means that today is the last day of Pride Month. So of course I couldn't let this month go by without showing some love and uplifting the LGBTQ plus community, specifically showing love to my queer Black folks out there. We love you all. I would definitely consider myself an ally to the LGBTQ plus community. In the past, I've been able to celebrate Pride through the huge amount of festivals and parades that would happen throughout the country, but obviously COVID-19 put a little bit of a dent in that. But I know for myself and a lot of people out there, we don't really know what the true significance of Pride is, and I wanted to discuss a little bit about that in this video. I know I didn't learn until last week that Pride Month is so significant because it is used to commemorate the 1969 Stonewall riots in New York City. Early on the morning of Saturday, June 28, 1969, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender folks began to uprise following a police raid on the Stonewall Inn, a gay bar at 43 Christopher Street in Greenwich Village, Manhattan, New York City. This year is actually the 50th anniversary of the first Pride Month celebration ever, and I think it is very telling that it happened on the precipice of another reiteration of a national civil rights movement with Black Lives Matter. Speaking of, I, as a cisgender heterosexual Black woman, am really trying to continue to put in the work around being a better ally to the LGBTQ plus community altogether. But with current events, I really want to specifically uplift my Black trans sisters and brothers because right now, y'all need and deserve our protection. Being a better ally is an ongoing process, but here are 5 tips I have learned on how to be a better ally to the trans community. Open your ears and listen. Are you listening? Are you listening? Being an ally means fighting for the equality and rights for a group even though you are not a part of it yourself. This means it's important to understand your privilege and understand what the wants and needs of the community you are being an ally to are. Listen to what the trans people in your life are saying and make sure that in your work as an ally, you are centering trans people and not yourself. Listening in allyship means more than just hearing what a trans person says when something is wrong. Listening in allyship means that there is a continuous conversation happening and action being taken about things that may affect trans people and creating an environment that feels comfortable for them to vocalize their issues. Do the research. Google is your best friend. Everybody exists at a different level of experiences and knowledge on any given topic, and that includes knowledge on queerness and transness. I had extremely limited knowledge on the LGBTQ plus spectrum before I went to college. However, just because you've never heard about these identities before does not mean that these identities have never existed. The resources to understand trans people and all the specific identities that are under the trans umbrella exist. Of course, I will never fully understand what it's like to be trans because that is not my experience. But what's important is that as an ally, you are putting in the effort to understand. Use inclusive language. Inclusivity is key. This is something that needs to become normalized for everyone, but by changing some of the words that you use on a daily basis, you could help to make a better, more inclusive environment for trans folks and other folks in the LGBTQ plus spectrum. For day-to-day conversation, saying, "Hey y'all," or "Welcome everyone," instead of "Hey guys," or "Welcome ladies and gentlemen," is a welcome, gender-inclusive change. It also lowers the chance for unintentional misgendering to happen and takes the onus off of trans folks and other folks across the LGBTQ plus spectrum to continuously correct you. Show up and show out. Show up and show out. Although making the effort to be trans inclusive in your interpersonal interactions is important, allyship doesn't end there. Use your privilege to uplift trans voices and bring awareness to their issues. Going out and voting for politicians that take trans lives and safety as an important focus is another way to show up for the trans community. If someone you know or someone you don't know says something transphobic, call them out and educate them. We can also show up for the trans community by going to rallies and protests where trans people are centered. Specifically for the Black Lives Matter movement, we can't only lift up the names of the Ahmaud Arbery's and the George Floyds of the world. Ryan Milton, Dominique Fells, Nina Pop, and Tony McDade are just a few trans folks that have lost their lives to state-sanctioned violence. And we need to do a better job of sharing their stories, uplifting their names, and fighting for their justice. Support trans organizations, voices, and causes. Where them dollars at? Where them dollars at? This is plain and simple and one of the easiest ways you can give back. Organizations like Black Visions Collective, Marsha P. Johnson Institute, Trans Women of Color Collective, and Okra Project are great spaces doing the work to uplift the trans community. Also, look to folks in the community like Janet Mock, Angelica Ross, Raquel Willis, Ashley Marie Preston, Shar Jassel, and more for guidance. We need to follow their lead and uplift their platforms and contributions to this work of supporting trans lives. These are just a few things I have learned over the years on how to be a better ally, but obviously I am no expert. At the end of the day, being an ally is an ongoing process that is not easy, but so worth it and so necessary. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with everyone. Until next time, be bold, be beautiful, and be you. Love you.